During the ad break, Joe sat here and said, I guess we'll talk about VAR again then. And I think we will talk about VAR. And Peter Walton is part of our team. But Peter, I suppose, just as an overview of the day, really, when you take a look at the red card decision, VAR also had a look at a potential elbow and a potential handball in the box, another potential incident in the box. I don't think any of us could argue with the decisions that VAR came to today. So, a good day?
Yes, it was a good day, and it proved the worth of VAR in today's game. We've seen many incidents in that game where VAR has had a look at it, and there can't be too much argument afterwards by either parties the decisions that it came to.
Isn't this a perfect situation, though, where a referee has missed what is a red card and VAR just sorts it out, even if it did take a couple of minutes?
Yeah, we can see here, the pictures here, Paul Tierney, the referee, clearly sees this as a reckless trip on Max Meyer. In fact, the fourth official in the background just raises his hand to his mouth to advise him of that such. But when you see it from the other angles that the VAR has, as we can see here, you can clearly see where does that challenge happen. It occurs just above his ankle. There's a potential there from a breaking leg point of view, and also the intensity. So, although Aubameyang may argue his case, he didn't mean to do that, and Paul Tierney quite rightly sees it as a trip. When you see it from the VAR angles, yes, it's a red card. I don't think anybody can argue with that.
Can you argue?
No, I completely agree with you, Pete. I've been on the end of a few of them tackles myself. They'll be sore in the morning. But do you know what I was very surprised with in this situation? If you look at the Crystal Palace bench, there was no reaction. Do you think that's a direct thing from where they're happy to let it happen and let VAR sort it? Because if that happened in front of one of the benches I've played for, everyone would have been up trying to influence the referee.
Yeah,
Are the referees getting less trying to be influenced?
Yeah, I agree with that, Joe. But the one thing for me was the fourth official who stood maybe a yard or so away from the action. He saw what the benches saw, and that was potentially a trip on their player. I don't think the benches saw the replays that we've seen subsequently that clearly shows it endangered his safety. So maybe they was a bit more chilled out and relaxed about it. I don't know. But going back to your point, I do think the benches realise that nowadays the game will be sorted by VAR if the referee misses something.
Very good, Peter. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. One of the other things that we should mention is that it was clearly shown on the big screen to the fans here, and that is making a tangible difference in the stadiums. But there is still some way to go, I think, to convince football fans that VAR is the right thing. I mean, this was a banner that was held up by the Palace fans. There was another one as well that said killing passion, killing atmosphere, and killing the game. Yet half an hour later, they're cheering this red card, and at one point, when there was the potential penalty with the handball in the box, the Palace fans were actively chanting for VAR.
They were on the right end of it today, Palace fans. As I say, that tackle was reckless. It was endangering a player's career, really. And I'm not saying Aubameyang is that type of player. I think it might have been accidental, but it's reckless and it's endangering him. So he had to go. And I think VAR, as you mentioned, it was a good day for it today. I think the West Ham might have a different view of it last night.
But the thing with West Ham last night was that was the law of the game is not necessarily right. VAR is interpreting the law.
That's the problem for me. That handball law and the offsides. I don't want to see people's heels and drawing lines. It infuriates me. I hate watching it. The fans don't like seeing it. But on the flip side of that, VAR's worked today.
It's an interesting one, though, because when VAR gets something wrong or we have a heel offside by that much or a handball incident, it's trending on Twitter, it's discussed everywhere, everyone shares the clips and the videos. When a correct decision is made on a good day for VAR like this, it doesn't create the headlines. So you almost get a skewed view of whether it's successful or not.
There's definitely a skewed view on it. You're right. Every time it goes wrong, it's everywhere, ain't it? But today it was right. It's a bad tackle. It was a worthy red card. The kid Meyer could have got himself seriously hurt. Luckily, fortunately, he looks like he's going to be okay. But the thing for me was, forget VAR. I think Palace will see this as a missed opportunity by not having the ability within their attacking passing game to break Arsenal down after that. But the VAR decision was correct.
My problem with VAR is when you have a decision where both sets of players, both sets of fans are happy with the goal, we celebrate the goal, and then it gets pulled back for something that we can't see, we might not be able to see, we just about make it out, and then we disallow a goal. That's my issue with it.
It's not perfect, is it? It's absolutely a work in progress, and we'll see what gets changed ahead of next season. It's difficult mid-season, isn't it? Right, let's get...